AVAX meme coin pre-sales have been going absolutely insane. And it isn't clickbait on this thumbnail where I was saying you can make $50,000 on these different pre-sales, because this has been exactly what has happened over the past month. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys everything you need to know about these different AVAX pre-sales, how to qualify, and the next one that you can start working on right now. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Now, I usually don't cover AVAX on this channel. I think this is actually the first video that I've made in the AVAX ecosystem, but these pre-sales have been going so insane that's worth having on your radar. Basically, what's been happening is over this past month, we have had different high-quality meme coin IP brand-based projects come out, do some hype marketing, and make it extremely exclusive to actually get into their different allocations. And what ends up happening is you need to have some sort of application, you need to be engaging with them, maybe you have some history on your wallet, and if you're able to actually qualify for these allocations, you've been able to turn small amounts of money into absolutely insane allocations. This first one I'm showing you was the one that started the wave, and this is called Ket. And literally, if you spent $500 on their pre-sale, at the peak, that $500 was worth $1 million. Now, that does sound like a bunch of bullshit, but you can fact check me and look at the pre-sale allocations and look how crazy this actually ran. Even right now, after a pullback, it's sitting at around $323 million. And at the peak, it was over $500 million market cap. And because of the way they're distributing in these pre-sales and getting all these influencers and people in the ecosystem to engage, they have been able to go on really great runs because of that distribution and the amount of eyes on the chain. And if you look at net inflows and outflows for blockchains, you'll see that a lot of money has gone away from the Solana blockchain and memes and have actually been going into these new high quality AVAX pre-sales. It would be one thing if this just happened one time, but the next project that released was called Wink, and the Wink token also went on a massive run and is sitting at a $55 million market cap. It was around $150 million at its peak. And in this situation, your $900 pre-sale allocation, if you qualified, was worth $200,000 at its peak. We also had Blub that just launched a day or two ago, and this was another situation that if you qualified for their pre-sale by going on their application, hoping you get lucky, having some history in the space, maybe you're making some different content and you were there early, now all of a sudden your allocation, if you had the 65 AVAX one, which was around $1,200, is now worth around $70,000 at a $73 million market cap. And even within the first day, Blub went to over $100 million and has had some pretty insane volume, with the last 24 hours having $27.4 million of volume on AVAX. I unfortunately missed out on all these different pre-sales. I started paying attention to this back with Blub, but there were some people in our alpha group, Jelly Cubes, which is free to join in the description, that brought up these projects really early on. It's hard to say who's actually getting approved for some of these, but for Blub, we know that about 1,200 applications out of around 100,000 applications got approved for this, and a lot of them were either content creators or people that were engaging early on or people that submitted a really high quality application. But just realize, guys, that they're most likely not going and reading through 100,000 applications, and they're most likely just looking at your X account and potentially some wallet history on your Ravi or MetaMask, which are the wallets that you interact with the AVAX C chain. The good news is even if you missed out on these previous ones, the new hype one that is on everyone's radar is called BOI the Bear, and this is expected to release sometime in the next 2 weeks, and you can start farming this right now and hopefully qualify for their application. All you do is go to boythebear.com, which I'll have in the link of this description. You link your X profile, and then you make content on X and you tag them. Another interesting thing that you can do is you can actually go on their main X and engage by liking and commenting on their different posts, and that's also going to give you these different raw points. Also pay attention in the future, because they're going to have an application where you can tell them about yourself as well as enter your EVM address. And this is where, once again, I have a feeling they're looking to see how much AVAX you actually have in that wallet and how much history you have. And they're most likely using that as a filter to then see if your application is good. It'll probably go a long ways as well if you have a following on that X account. So to conclude here, these applications are extremely hard to get onto, and it's really important to pay attention to these different projects and connect early on to give you the highest likelihood of actually qualifying. And if you're one of the people that are lucky to qualify, you can legit turn $500 into $1 million, like what happened with Ket, or even what happened this past week with Blub being able to turn $1,200 into $70K. Now, I do think over time, time, these different presale allocations are inevitably going to be less and less valuable. But in the meantime, it is such a no-brainer if you're able to qualify for these presales. And even if you get a 2x, 3x, 4x, that's really insane in this market to get something guaranteed. And in these situations, it has literally been 100x or more for a lot of them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're looking for a free cross-chain alpha community to talk about all these different plays, check out Jellycubes in the description. It's completely free, no strings attached, and I'll catch y'all later.